Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs postgame show podcast presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Cubs beat the Mets 4-1. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, Ryan Herrera. Delmendo is rolling in the cash after his PointsBet wager on the Cubs.
This was the best Cubs win of the season, folks.
Cody,
not really, but
Cody, purchased 5 Jordans during the game. 5 pairs of Jordans. Spent it all already.
Oh, yeah.
6.
Maybe
it was 6. And for all of those out there who said the Cubs would not win 60 games this season, go pound sand. Big number 60. And the push to 63 is closer than ever. We have a magic number of 3 for 63. And the Cubs go pound sand. And a series win, fellas, over the Mets.
Yeah.
And a game that we said in pregame, not going to be easy tonight.
What a way to start the show. Go pound sand.
63 wins.
And there were a lot of people that were like, this team will win 50 games.
That's right.
I mean, they just
You know what you call this? You know what you call this? A success.
A success. Where's
There you
Michael
go.
Collada?
Who would have thought we'd be sitting here? Because you that was your pick on the bet show, right?
For today. And I said it at the very end, and we might have been like cutting out because we talked about week 2 NFL the entire time. But like at the very end, Sean was like Guardians money line or something like that, and then I was like Cubs money line. And as the moment I'm saying money line, I'm pretty sure Steven ended the show. So
He didn't want you to get that part out.
well, we Phillies money line, whatever. It cashed. Okay, so we both went 2-0 tonight. Congratulations to us.
Hello,
Pat
Rhonda.
on the shoulder.
Hey, Rhonda.
Anyway.
I can't even see that. It's too far up.
Oh,
Yeah, big win.
Anyway,
Sampson over DeGrom.
like we all expected.
who would have thought?
This, by the way,
I thought.
in the beginning of the season, this was the week that Cody had circled as possible clinching week. At this point, we didn't know it was going to be for 63 wins,
Yeah.
but now we still have a shot. I mean, you really did tell us all to bet it. I was having some technical difficulties tonight with my phone, and so I didn't get in on the fun wager. It's unfortunate because I was on a bit of a heater after that $50 winner.
I guess technically you still are on a heater.
Yeah, I am on a heater. That's right.
It hasn't ended.
I
yet.
may not bet it. Maybe I just won't bet again. Stay on a heater.
No, that was. Happ let off the scoring with the home run, and that felt like, oh, they got one. Like, okay, here comes the right, and then obviously they put up 3 more. Bodie had the home run. How else did they score runs today? It was Bodie had the home run. Wisdom had the bunt.
Yeah, the bunt.
I can't remember the other one. But then the pitching was good. Sampson, 6 innings, no earned runs.
Cy Young.
First time with back-to-back quality starts since June 2019. Now, granted, he pitched in Korea, I believe, for a year or so in that. But it's still over 3 years since his last time pitching back-to-back quality starts. And he outdueled Jacob DeGrom. DeGrom.
He absolutely did. Like, it's almost comical to say it, but like,
I know it is because I'm laughing.
I mean, Cody
so
bet big
funny.
on it. I knew he was going to still have like 10 strikeouts.
And he did.
DeGrom, and he did. But Happ got all that homer, by the way.
He did. Upper deck.
Upper tank.
I mean,
See it.
yeah, he did. He was a 407, I think, was the distance that they gave out.
Yeah. I got a
Which
buddy.
I always think about that. Like, how, I mean, do they,
I don't know how they figure that out.
How do they figure
must
that
know
out?
by
Because
like row of seat or something like
when
that.
it hits the third deck like that, like, I mean, can
Yeah,
you
like
imagine
what
it
angle
coming-
you're hitting at?
Yeah,
It's
like-
a guess. Come on.
like-
It's a guess.
I don't get it.
Um,
It feels like it would be further, in my opinion.
Mike Dubs. I'm fading myself betting from now on. Took DeGrom over 9.5 Ks and Mets money line.
And truth be told, you were thinking about giving up on the bet halfway through. And
I
just
did
cashing
consider
it, right?
cashing out because this Cubs bullpen, it's been shaky since the trade deadline, right? So, but Rucker comes in, shoves it down their throats, and Brandon Hughes comes in, shoves it down their throats, gives up a homer to Pete Alonso in the 9th inning with no one on. Just like last night when he gave up a homer to Francisco Lindor in the 9th inning with no one on. Those, I mean,
Like I said last night, it's like if he's taking his lumps right now,
yeah.
the season, it's not like you're counting on him to help, be a back end reliever for a playoff push right now. It's like Let him go out there, learn how to pitch in these situations.
Truthfully,
it's okay. It's okay.
And I don't
Truthfully, tell us the truth.
I don't want to take any credit away from the Cubs tonight, but truthfully, I just feel like this loss is more on the Mets than the Cubs winning this game. Like they are not what they were at the beginning of the year. In my
They
opinion.
got 4 walks off of Sampson. They had opportunities.
I don't think this specific game is on the. I think the Cubs won this game.
Well,
I think the Cubs won this game.
They won the game, but like their
Happ hit a bomb
offense
off.
is like really falling apart compared to what we saw at the beginning of the year.
What I mean is the Cubs won the game because they did what they had to do to get runs off a guy like Jacob DeGrom. They put balls in play. They bunted guys over. They stole bases when they had a chance.
They did manufacture runs.
Yeah, they took the game
outside
and
of the Happ homer. Yeah.
And Adrian Sampson. I mean, there was that almost home run with Pete Alonso that I still don't know what was the blow up between Alonso and Sampson.
Right.
But Sampson pitched really well, and the Mets offense hasn't been that good, but it's not like Sampson was giving up a ton of hard contact and they were just going right to fielders. Like he was pitching well.
Yeah.
And the bullpen came in and pitched well enough to hold him to 1 run. Like I don't think this is a game that you take away from them. The Cubs won it, and it doesn't matter. That's only their 60th win of the season. But that's a Cubs win. I'd say it's a Cubs win.
But David Snyder did call the Sampson thing too
He did.
in the pregame show. He said 2.50 ERA the last 3 starts.
There was a tweet that you read about Sampson against playoff teams or whatever.
I don't remember where it is.
Sampson against playoff teams?
I tweeted it at the CHGO Cubs Twitter account. If you don't follow it, you should follow it. I'll go find it real quick.
Yeah,
Was that the stat that Kevin had?
No, it was the one I found. It was like he had 44 1/3 innings pitched against a certain amount of people.
It was
Here's
entry
the
tonight.
one,
Adrian
Kevin,
Sampson had 44 1/3 innings pitched
This is a
versus
different one
playoff
for
contenders.
DeGrom.
The playoff contenders. That starts against Dodgers, Braves, Brewers, Cardinals, Baltimore, and the Mets. He's got a 3.24 ERA in those
that was
outings.
going into today.
So
Yeah.
now it's lower than
So
that.
because I'd have to do the backwards math to figure out how many earned runs that equals, and I don't feel like doing that right now.
I don't.
But, it's closer to 3 against playoff teams, and we could talk about.
You can read this other tweet that Kevin brought up now if you want about DeGrom.
Well, I was just going to say we could talk about Adrian Sampson trying to earn his spot on the team again next year, but I think we've kind of gone through that. But
Right.
Every time he makes a start, we go through it every time.
But all I'm going to say about it is that this is obviously a start that helps his case, as was the last one. Like he's helping his case right now.
Whether it's for the Cubs or another team, even,
So there's a chance. Yeah, whether it's the Cubs or another team, like he's looking like he's earning himself a spot in the majors in some capacity in 2023.
I mean, he has been good, and he seems to be getting better. Like I keep saying, he's just a guy, and then he comes out and he throws another good game. Now, I do have a buddy
that back up, Kevin.
Yeah, bring it up. I do have a buddy who's
like
a diehard Mets fan from New York, and I'm holding out, not even texting or anything, because like he goes to all the games. Like, it's not looking good. So this is the DeGrom stat, and then I guess we'll kind of go into the free agent option thing. DeGrom just matched a major league record with his 39th consecutive start of 3 earned runs or fewer. Jim Scott is the only pitcher to have a streak as long back in 1913 to 14 for the White Sox. DeGrom, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. So he's got to do it.
39 consecutive
And that
starts.
according to Anthony DiComo of the Mets of MLB.com. I believe he was the first to tweet that out. I saw a couple accounts with it, but hell of a find. That's a great stat. It hasn't been done in over 100 years. That's insane.
That's consistency right there.
Yeah, if it's not for the injuries.
So if he gets 40, he would be the only major league pitcher since at least like since at least 1901 kind of thing to do that. Which, again, we all know Jacob DeGrom is arguably the greatest pitcher of this generation and one of the top pitchers of all time. I mean, I don't know if the longevity hasn't been a factor for him for this entire time, but his run of dominance has been extended.
The injuries are the
and
only thing.
really, really
They are a
good.
thing, but I kind of feel like the Mets throw around cash like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about, the free agent options the Cubs might have. He's certainly on the list of someone they'd have to consider to a shorter-term deal, lots of money. And so the risk isn't as bad. He's the oldest of like the four guys we put in comparison. He's the most accomplished. They've all been injured. Rodon, we talked about the last time he was here and pitched. Clevenger's an interesting guy. Manaea's an interesting guy. I just think DeGrom, despite the injury history and the age, will get insane money for a deal from somebody, and I'm not sure that's the Cubs.
It'll be a Scherzer type deal.
I just think like whether it's the Yankees, the Mets, or somebody disgusting like the Dodgers, somebody will just give an insane amount of money to him.
I've been thinking this whole time, like I don't see him leaving. I don't see him leaving the Mets.
I don't either.
I think Steve Cohen is going to, especially if they don't win this year, going to try to just throw more money.
Yes,
but I mean, I don't see him, even if it's not the Mets, it's like the Yankees are right there. Like I don't see him getting out of New York.
Like he's not. And if he's signing with the Cubs, he'd only be signing because of the amount of money. He wouldn't be signing because you would say, "Oh, we're going to win. Got a shot to win the World Series next year," even with DeGrom. So,
and when you look at what the Cubs do, like I don't know that we've seen any like projected contract for DeGrom. The Cubs don't want to shell out long-term deals. I think the Cubs front office would rather higher average annual values than lower values more years. That's what it feels like they're looking for. So it also depends on what DeGrom is looking to get. What does he want? Just more money in general? Is he looking to have more security for so and so years? Right. It's like that's
well, if you can get like some crazy amount per year, you don't care as much about the longevity.
That's fair.
And
if you get like $40 million over like 3 years,
what do you care if you like that's your last contract?
What does Scherzer get this year? Do you remember?
Isn't he making like 40 AAV?
Is it 40 AAV?
I thought he was
something like that, right?
It's 40 plus.
Yeah. Right. Because it was like a 2-year.
He deserves that.
Yeah, and DeGrom could get that.
I'm not against the Cubs saying, "Hey, here's $40 million."
43 AAV.
So you got to figure
3 years.
Or like, it's
it's
40.
3.
Oh, okay.
43,
Damn.
43, 43.
Yeah.
I think so.
So let's just say that's the number that he's looking for, even though he's hurt. Maybe it's 4. Let's just say he wants $40 million for the next 3 years. I'm not against the Cubs doing that.
No.
It's a financial investment, but it doesn't handcuff them from when all their prospects should be hitting their prime.
Yeah.
But it gives them a shot to do something earlier. Right?
Yeah. No, yeah, and with DeGrom, again, if it's just throwing the Max Scherzer contract out there, I think he'll get more money than that. He may get an extra year than that.
Yep.
But it's Jacob DeGrom, and you look at the injury history.
34, like you said, 34. You put him at 3 more years, 37, and he's always been hurt. There's definitely a gamble to it for whoever decides
100%.
to do it.
But I just feel like there's going to be some team that decides to do it.
I do too.
And then on the flip side of that is like with the age and other teams willing to probably give more than maybe the Cubs are willing to give. There's other guys out there that maybe aren't Jacob DeGrom, the best pitcher in the majors when he's healthy, but Carlos Rodon.
Would you rather give 5 years to Rodon?
I don't know if I'd give 5.
No.
I would not give 5 years to Carlos
I'd
Rodon.
give 3 high to DeGrom over 5 for Rodon any day of the
week. About 4 years for DeGrom. He's younger.
4 for DeGrom.
4 years younger.
4 for DeGrom or 5 for Rodon? What are you saying?
Would you give Rodon 4 years?
What's the difference between 4 and 5, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, I would give him 4 years.
I give him 4 years and then opt out in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. It is weird how those contracts do work with opt-outs and stuff like that. I don't know what's really more enticing and really is like a no starter for players and also teams on those kind of contracts. So, yeah, 4 years, but if there's like an opt-out somewhere after like 2 or 3, maybe.
Right. I see. What Lucas is saying is going after DeGrom now would signal the Cubs are intent on winning in 2024. It would be similar to the Lester signing in that way, in that it would be like, all right, we're starting to get into a window where we can win, whereas Rodon, because he's 4 years younger, does give a little flexibility for that time frame, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he will be less.
The injury
history,
history
the option
probably
is trade for Shohei. and give up a lot.
I mean, I'd
rather sign the guys.
I was in on the Cubs giving Rodon, like trying to sign him this last offseason and seeing the 2-year deal that he got. And I was like, why the hell didn't the Cubs go after that one? Like, they had a lot of space under the luxury tag. Like, that was a contract that anyone should have tried to give Rodon. The White Sox probably should have tried to give him that deal, too. Yeah. And he pitched very well this year. I don't know. It's the age. They both have injury history, but the age definitely plays a factor in it.
Absolutely, it does.
But DeGrom is also Jacob DeGrom. So
he is. I see. They're saying Ortega broke his finger.
Starts, folks. I mean,
what is it, Cody?
39 consecutive quality starts, like that tweet said.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get DeGrom, you go get him. Doesn't matter with his injury, you go get him.
That's what I think too. I think
unless it's $45 million for 5 years.
Yeah, again,
I don't think you give him a 5-year contract.
No, you can't. It'll be ancient.
Unless you completely front load that contract, which even then is taking such a big chunk out of the luxury tax threshold.
Still got a lot of positions to fill.
It's doing the opposite effect, right? It's like while the luxury tax threshold number will keep going up, the number you're paying him is going down. But like right here, you're stuck because you have no money left because you're giving him so much money.
Right.
Alec might be right. DeGrom gets $50 million average, and Sampson will have to get 60.
Yeah.
Well,
did outduel him.
He did. You know what?
Did outduel him.
What was the stat I had, Cody? So going into today, DeGrom had 6 innings pitched and no earned runs allowed in a game. He did that 47 times. Adrian Sampson had never done that before. But he outdueled him today.
It's baseball.
Adrian Sampson's going to tell his entire he's going to be telling the story about this game probably to his grandkids one day.
His first 6 innings pitched, no earned run game.
He's going to tell everyone. He's going to tell everyone how he outpitched the best player or the best pitcher of the last decade, arguably, on one random night in NYC on a 59-win Cubs team, baby.
Cody Delmendo riding the money line.
Oh, man. What a beautiful win that was.
I missed a lot in this chat.
Well, I mean, JD called it on the broadcast that he thought it was one of the most satisfying wins of the season, or possibly the most satisfying win.
Yeah, because everyone knew that the Cubs were huge underdogs tonight.
And Nico wasn't playing, and Madrigal. Yeah. Like, you had guys that were not in the lineup, too.
Right.
Contreras is out.
Yeah. And again, though, like, you say that, and that's what brings me back to thinking, like, this loss has more to do, or this Mets loss has more to do with them just really falling apart these last few weeks, in my opinion, than the Cubs just magically pulling something out of their ass. But hey, all the credit to them for manufacturing runs and stuff like you said. So, hey, it's just nice to win one.
So I was just going back through the chat, and this doesn't have anything to do with the DeGrom or Rodon or any pitcher, but I just noticed Michael Culada's a comment by Michael, and I know we laugh about the Ricketts tweets or Ricketts comments and stuff like that. He said these guys are pitching with no pressure; they're just guys. These guys have pressure on their back. These guys are pitching for their career for a spot in the major league next year. Just because the Cubs aren't winning anything this year, who knows what they do next year? Adrian Sampson is pitching to stay in the major leagues next year, to earn a major league paycheck. That's what he's doing right now. I don't think you could take the credit away from him in that front. Like, there is pressure on some of these
Michael
guys
hasn't been giving credit to anyone on this team.
Yeah,
I will meet you I'll meet it halfway. I think what he says has some validity. Like, it's not the pressure of pitching in a postseason and trying to hang on to your career, but there's self-induced pressure for sure.
It's not like
the rest of the team might not be though. Like, some guys that are under contract might just be playing.
Yeah,
those guys still contribute to whether you do well or not.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what I'm getting at. Is like, they're not. He's not pitching for the rest of the team at this point because they're 22 games under 500.
Right.
They're not making the playoffs. But he is pitching he has a lot of pressure on himself to do well and earn a spot, whether it's with the Cubs and he stays in the 40-man this offseason or it's with another team next year. Like, he's pitching to make sure he's in the big leagues next year. So there's pressure there. And I don't think you can, discredit him completely for pitching for a 60-win team.
Mike Dubs
Hey, we will not
You
have
dropped this, King.
I didn't see what Mike.
I'll say it. Michael Collada can pound sand.
No, that's not right. He's a loyal viewer.
Michael
I stand
Collada-
with Collada.
He is a loyal viewer. I can't.
he is
I just
allowed-
found it so funny
He is
because how Luke said it. At
He's
the beginning of the
allowed.
show.
He's allowed to come in here and be negative. I'm just.
He's
sometimes-
the only one. He's
got-
the only one that we allow it. Everyone else who's negative, I think about you when I'm pissed off at the Cubs and they're playing bad, and I just know y'all are gonna come in the chat and make me even more mad. So, thank you for living utilities free in my head.
I would like to figure out exactly who's available for Rule 5 draft and then what spaces they really – I would love to know in their mind, like, who's safe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think there's any question Sampson, despite pitching well, is near the cut line.
Well, yeah.
I don't think it's guaranteed that he's back, no matter how well he pitches, just based on age.
Yeah, and that's
Maybe
what we
I'm wrong.
talked
Maybe
about
they
is-
value that a lot, but
that's what we talked about when we were watching the game. It's like, just because even if he does pitch well to end this season, the Cubs may look at it as something like, is replacing him? Is it better to have the roster spot and put a guy in the minors that's Rule 5 draft eligible on the 40 to protect them? Is that more valuable than keeping Sampson and the pitching depth he provides in the system? That's the balance. And I guess it depends on who else is gone from the team. It depends who else is getting protected. But he may be like a bubble guy. Like he may be like the last man out in a situation like that, which sucks. But that's what he's pitching for, to make sure he's not. But even then, it's like it may not make a difference. I don't.
no, I mean I can't argue with that. We've talked about it. Every time Assad pitches, you're like, what's his future? I don't know.
Yeah. Both those guys. And
I don't know, but they're not hurting themselves by pitching well.
No, but then there's position players, Ortega, like
Yeah,
Kinstry,
broken finger. That might be the last time you see Ortega in a Cubs uniform.
What was your favorite part of the Rafael Ortega era?
Sean
his
Anderson
second
wants
half
to know.
last year. It was great.
The walk-off homer at Wrigley.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I was at that game. And I remember tweeting, where were you for the Rafael Ortega game?
He's got a pretty great walk-up song.
Yeah.
Gets you going.
I'll give you that. No, Ian Happ's second plate appearance walk-up song, Matches by Cash Cash. Luke, I would assume you've never heard it.
Cash for sure. I don't know what you're even
He
talking
also
about.
he also
Great.
walks up to
That's one of
Blue World.
my favorite songs.
He also walks up to Blue World by Mac. That's great,
Yeah.
man. I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I like the Cash Cash
Big.
one.
big.
People
Who was it came
why
in
is
the
Sean
Sweet Child of
comment-
Mine?
why is
Was
Sean
it Kimbrel?
commenting?
Was Kimbrel Sweet
Yeah.
Child of Mine?
Now he's
Yeah.
Let It Go. Did you see that?
That's a mistake.
No, he's
No, it's
pitching
working out for
lights
him.
out with Let It Go.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
like
no.
pretty bad, and then
Sweet Child of Mine's an epic song.
But
It
he was pitching
is.
but it's
had to
the,
switch
it was
it
the
up,
whole what's
Ran its
the
course.
word?
His daughter or some
I think his wife or
Someone told him that he sucked or something. Right?
Well, they had it where like I think all the
That's why
players'
he did
wives or girlfriends. It was maybe National Women's Day or something like that, and all the wives and girlfriends picked the walk-up songs or like intro songs for the players. And he had obviously been having a horrible year, and he had like a 1-2-3 inning with "Let It Go" from Frozen as his
And so that's
walkout
it.
song, as his warm-up song. And I think over the next 7 games, he had like didn't give up a hit or like I think he had 7 1-2-3 innings over his next 7 games while pitching, while "Let It Go" as his walk-up song. So he just keeps using it.
I feel like that was one of the first. Was it a TikTok or was it Instagram? Ben Zobrist and his daughter singing "Let It Go" once. Was that TikTok?
No,
know
TikTok didn't exist then.
Maybe it was Vine.
It was probably Instagram.
Probably Instagram.
Katie says, I know I've missed a lot, so I don't know how long you've had it, but Luke, your shirt is fantastic. Luke's had it for like a month?
Yeah, I mean, I've worn it a couple times. Thanks,
Yeah.
Avi Shirts.
Yeah, shout out to Joe.
Joe, Steve, period.
Steve.
One of one. One of one. It's an
Slash
original.
Maverick.
By the way, when we
Slash
walked in today, I walked through the front door and it was like encased meats. Just smells like sausage in here.
It smells amazing.
And I thought, well, that does smell good.
Smells
What
like
is
sausage in here.
Is that a meat steak? What are we smelling? A Green Ridge Farm. was here. A Chicago local meat and cheese company offering you a better all-natural option. Makers of all-natural deli meat, sausages, and their famous meat sticks. You guys had them for dinner tonight.
I did.
Perfect for tailgating, happy hour, school lunches. All-natural meat sticks are hardwood smoked for 8 hours. 16 grams of protein per stick. Make a perfect post-workout snack. Meat sticks come in chicken, Black Forest beef, and flavors like jalapeno, cheddar, and spicy chili. Haven't tried them yet? You don't know what you're missing. Delicious because they're made from recipes generations in making. And being all natural, they deliver a fresh, flavorful alternative at snack time. You can always find them in the refrigerated section at Costco, Sam's Club, or your local Chicagoland grocery store. Right now, when you order any 3 meat products at greenridgefarm.com and include a pack of meat sticks in your cart, those meat sticks are free simply by using the code CHGO at checkout. Greenridge Farm, simply natural meat. What are the salutes going on here?
Joel says talk about a sausage fest.
It was.
This is the only post-game show where you get to read comments like this.
Listen, all I know is it walked in, and there was a distinct smell going on in here. It was like somebody's barbecuing. It smells like meat, and everybody was hitting the meat sticks out of the fridge today.
Yeah.
I didn't hear not a single complaint, by the way.
I had one.
Yeah, I had one too.
You zapped it. 45 seconds in the fridge or in the microwave?
A minute, should have done 45 seconds. But yeah.
You over-zapped it.
I over-zapped it.
No, I zapped it.
Well, only because it was so hot. It was still good even at a minute. But
Ryan, you had the chicken?
I did have a chicken one.
What'd you go?
The chicken one.
Chicken with chicken flavor. But you've had all of them, right? Or no?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. It wasn't the first time. They sponsored one of our...
I mean, Sean's over there with a meat stick every 5 seconds.
Yeah. They sponsored the White Sox tailgate we did back in the summer. So, you know.
Gametime tickets. Another great sponsor to tell you about. Gametime is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best seats and deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. Ever dreamed about sitting in a seat you never thought you could? 50-yard line, courtside, behind home plate, floor seats at a concert? It's possible with the Gametime app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on seats you thought you could never buy. You won't find a better deal this season on Cubs tickets or Bears tickets, created by the fans for the fans, guaranteeing the lowest price. And if you love CHGO, well, then you're going to love Gametime. It's the best way to support us by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Gametime app and score the best seats to all your favorite events. Got to get to that next Bears home game after that one.
Yeah.
We missed out on the epic water game.
That was
94. I was at a game that was worse than that. I know everybody that went to this is now proud that they went to it. I went to the Halloween game in 94 where they were Butkus and Gale Sayers' numbers were being retired, and it was the same type of rain, only it was like 38 degrees and a 40-mile-an-hour wind, and Butkus and Sayers were out there in trash bags and they got crushed by the Packers on Monday Night Football. It was a miserable night.
That's a nice memory.
This was the next. They say this
sounds
was
like
the next
being a
worst
Bears
rain.
fan.
They say this is the next worst rainstorm that's ever been at Wrigley.
You're going to finish with, I had a great time.
But never forget it, huh?
By the way, it was Kimbrel's daughter, according to the chat, that had to let it go.
And it was.
I know we didn't.
I know it's working.
I know we didn't bring up a tweet or say it, but Ortega, left ring finger fracture.
Yeah.
Done for the season.
That was coming out of New York?
Yeah, that fractured his finger.
The Athletic is sent a tweet out saying it. So
Sahad of Sharma, left ring finger fracture, season over.
Spin zone. Marcus Stroman tweeted W at Cubs.
Yes. By the way, we should. I didn't take care of it while we should have right out of the gate. Who you got? We don't need to discuss this. Ian Happ, thank you.
Yeah.
What am I tied for first now?
This is the least Luke.
Yeah, we don't even have to
You guys can't even come up with something for this one.
This is the least Luke has had to argue.
Cody waited for the last McKinstry at bat and was like, "But if he gets a hit here,
he doesn't have to."
Ian
Happ saw
5
8 pitches in his first at bat. That's something Luke would pull.
Come on, Ryan. I want to hear your argument, man.
First time he doesn't.
McKinstry had an 8 pitch at bat, the very first at bat of the game against DeGrom, and I thought that was impressive because he's going up against DeGrom. But no.
What are the totals? Is this
that
going
was
to
the
get
best thing he
factored in,
did.
or is this going to get left off?
No, it's on here, and
Oh,
I've been putting it on here all season. All right, it's 24 to 21 to 18 to 2 to Kevin's 1.5 to 2.
Kevin's 1.5.
To
1.5, baby.
1 for Maverick and Rachel.
On the board.
So shout out to all our friends. Luke is down 3 to me. So
If you had that Maverick,
a lot of game left, a lot of season left. I still don't even know what we get when this is over, but whatever.
Yeah,
Cubs
no,
money line
probably
plus
some meat
330 is
sticks.
the real victory tonight.
Meat sticks,
Meat sticks,
leftover meat sticks out of the
Leftover
fridge.
meat sticks.
But they were
not?
grilling up for everybody. There was whoever was here for lunch today. Not only get the meat sticks, they had sausages on the grill. So that's why it was like.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on that. I got here a little too late today.
Dave says McKinstry's 9-pitch at bat was a tone setter, though.
Well, we did start with that. You said and he made contact because we
He
were
did.
thinking
He popped
DeGrom
out.
was yeah.
He popped out. We were literally going into all right, how many strikeouts is DeGrom getting tonight? And then, we were like, we might have to choose who you got with the one who makes the most contact. So
Where were you 2 years ago on this date for one of the most
In
epic
my
pitching
apartment.
performances in Cubs history? No, not the game where they beat DeGrom.
Was that a Sunday?
That was today.
Was that a Sunday?
I believe so.
I think I might have been at my grandmother's house.
I was
Yeah,
doing remote television.
I was doing.
Remote television.
Yeah,
I was
doing
I was.
Channel 2 Sports from my den.
There's
There
3
you go.
scenarios of what I could have been doing.
I was definitely at my grandma's house that day. I know that.
could have been delivering food for Grubhub because I was unemployed at the time, and that's how I was making money.
Let me check my Snapchat
I
memory.
could have been watching football because you're saying it was on a Sunday and it's September.
Yeah.
And
I got it.
or
The Snapchat memories.
I could have
Had me at my
been
grandma's house.
I could have been at my girlfriend's parents' house. So those are the 3
You
scenarios.
don't remember specifically this big of a
How do you
game.
forget? This is something you can
It's
never.
like
I
saying,
remember
where were you
watching
when
it, I just can't
2016 when they
I remember
Just as
watching
big.
it. I just
Just
don't.
as historic.
I just know that I didn't.
Dave, yes, the
I didn't-
Mills no hitter.
I didn't catch it until the last 3 innings that day. Yeah, I don't know.
The
I
16th
was
no hitter
paying
in
attention.
Cubs franchise history, and it was only his 15th major league start. Now, in 20 years, when somebody says,
It was the last Cubs no hitter.
yeah, I mean, Alec Mills is going to be a tough trivia question eventually.
Because everyone will remember Arrieta.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe somebody will remember Zambrano back then, but
Yeah.
Alec Mills hidden in there.
Well,
I feel like it's the Philip Umber perfect game for the
that
White
combined
Sox.
with no one was
yeah.
in the stands.
Right.
No one could be there to
That's
actually
right.
see it in person.
Yeah.
And it was that weird season. It's
kinda why
people
it's
got
like-
pissed
Yes.
off. People were pissed at MLB and not watching because of the whole. They wasted the entire summer fighting instead of just playing games. It was. I don't know. I wonder how many people were actually watching all 9 innings of Alec Mills' no hitter. It was.
I
mean, I was
admittedly
too,
did
yeah.
not. I admittedly
was
did not
too.
watch all 9 innings of that game.
was so unexpected that it was pretty cool.
I
It was
agree
pretty
with
cool.
Giolito threw one that season too.
Yeah.
Michael
So Chicago had
says,
a season
goes to
of
show you
no-hitters.
no hitters are mostly pure luck. I won't go that far. You have to really have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Those-
generally a player or two that you have to get lucky on at least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get a good.
Those Arrieta ones, that one, especially that one against the Dodgers, man, that was impressive.
I mean,
He was
there's
just
yeah.
he was just on.
Yeah.
Well,
I will say this: the Alec Mills one definitely had more luck than the normal a normal no hitter that you see from a big name pitcher because he is a contact based pitcher. But shit, Mark Burley threw a couple no hitters in his
Yes.
career too.
He threw a perfect game too.
Perfect
Yeah.
game, whatever.
But you
What's the
can't.
difference?
Again, you cannot. I know the no hits is the goal, but to compare what Alec Mills did, no offense to what Kerry Wood did, it's if you watch the 2 games with your eyeballs, one was way more impressive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Kerry
Which
Wood
And
one-
that,
one was
and
way more
again,
just dominant.
there's only been 16 no hitters. It's a great accomplishment. I'm glad he got to experience it. Thanks, bro. Isn't that what he said to you?
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Is that who said that to you?
Alec Mills.
Alec Mills?
Wait,
gave him,
what?
thanks,
He was going
brother.
home on his electric scooter. So
Yeah.
anyone who
He
slanders
gives a Hulk
electric
Hogan.
scooters,
Thanks, brother.
yeah, he did that to me last year. I was at the game where the Cubs snapped the 11-game losing streak.
Okay.
I was walking down Clark with one of my buddies, and we were going to my car, and we get to the corner of Waveland and Clark, and there's Alec Mills on his electric scooter waiting at the light. And I notice him, and I look at him. I'm like,
is he in a helmet?
No, he didn't have a helmet on.
Oh, my.
Anyway.
Cody also doesn't wear a helmet.
I don't
Cody
wear a helmet
doesn't wear a
either.
helmet. Well, we've suggested it
I see
enough
him,
times.
and I'm like, hey, Alec, great start tonight. And he's like, thanks, brother. It was like the most Hulk Hogan thing. And it was the most Alec Mills thing ever. You see a picture of Alec Mills, and you picture that guy saying, thanks, brother. And
Now,
it's
did he have
perfect.
ski goggles on?
He had,
or anything to
he had the
protect his
glasses
eyes?
on. He had the glasses on.
Another thing we can hold over the Brewers, only 2 no-hitters ever in that park.
Yeah.
Both by the
Both
way.
by
And
the
they
Cubs.
and they sell the dirt from that no-hitter. So
Yeah, did you?
I tweeted that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that tweet?
The Brewers sell it?
The Brewers sell the dirt from that no-hitter, like
that-
the infield dirt.
In like they're in the ballpark, right? Like
Yeah.
their team store or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They sell the
What?
dirt from that game. Yeah.
Now, I was
You
like,
can bring it
covering
up.
the
I
Brewers.
retweeted it
That's
to the
crazy.
CHGO
Yeah, weren't
Cubs
you up?
account.
Were you in Milwaukee?
I was covering that game, so I remember I wasn't in the ballpark, but I was working their post-game show that day. I've never seen that before. I believe it, though. I've seen the tweets now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically...
You can bring up my tweet if you want. I retweeted to CHGO Cubs as well this morning. I tweeted it this morning when I learned that it was the anniversary of the Alec Mills game.
One thing I'm thinking about when it kind of comes to Alec Mills, again, ground ball pitcher. So it's not like he can just go out and dominate a team like Jake Arrieta did. He obviously has to get, with the ground, being a ground ball pitcher, has to, not even luck, but it's just like have to have the fielders in the right place. How does the banning of the extreme shifts affect that?
Well, Javi on the last out of that,
He was
I
up the
watched
middle,
the play.
which
Javi was like right behind second base, and Mills had said when the ball went by him on the final out, he
Yeah.
thought, "Oh no," because he didn't know Javi had shifted all the way over behind second.
my thing is, but I think if Javi's just a few feet over, like where he's supposed to be,
Javi,
he'll
yeah.
go over. He'll go
Javi
and grab
probably
it.
gets it anyway,
But
but-
like, I didn't watch back the whole thing, but there was probably a couple plays from left-handed hitters that were hit into the shift, and without the shift, like, because remember we've seen this rise of no hitters in the last like 6 years. I don't know how many, but it's like a lot of. It always felt like a lot of no hitters. Like didn't they set the big league record for like most no hitters in a season last year or something like that?
Yeah, it's either like the last couple years or something like that it's been like a discussion.
Now-
and the shift has a lot to
Yeah,
do
that's
with
what I'm saying.
that.
I
no
wonder
doubt.
now that they're taking away that, so a guy like Kyle Schwarber smoking a ball through the right side at 150 miles an hour, like Ian Happ said, that becomes a hit again. That's the end of a
Yeah.
no-hitter, right?
So
So I wonder how
there's-
much that affect that.
There's
would
the
have on it.
tweet.
That
here's
is
it was-
unbelievable.
It was seen on Reddit. It actually went viral on Cubs Twitter like last week.
Can we find it online? Do they actually sell that somewhere online?
I'm going to
Brewers?
check. That'd be so crazy.
That would be insane.
Yeah, I know. That's wild. I'm going to look it up. I've never heard of this before either. I'm going to look
That
and
is
see.
why
That'd be like the Cubs
Milwaukee
selling
Brewers,
like the Brewer, like somebody clenching on their home field and be like, "And here's the dirt. Congratulations!" Like what?
and that is why
You know
the
what? We
Milwaukee
cut
Brewers,
down all the ivy for you at $1 a piece, each leaf.
And I am once again saying that the Milwaukee Brewers are a
That's got to be
second-class
fake.
organization.
That has to be fake. That can't be real. There's no way the Brewers in their gift shop or
I don't know.
pro shop
I mean,
are selling
admittedly, it's
something
on,
with a Cubs logo on it. that says
admittedly,
no.
it's up on Reddit, so I
There's
don't know,
no way it's
but
real.
it's just so. I want to believe that it's real.
Also, the jar looks like it should have like black pepper in it or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
somebody might have
Just
bought that at
dumped it in.
Mariano's, dumped it out, stuck some dirt in it, and put a Cubs logo on it.
Well, look at the background. It does look like there's more of them when I'm looking at the background right now.
If you want to show it on the screen there, Kevin,
Yeah,
when you're pointing it out,
I don't know.
like in
It
the
says
I mean,
no
I
hitter
see it.
with the official Cubs
Yeah,
logo. There's no way they're selling that in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I was like, you can't tell from that photo that it's actually in like at Miller Park or American Family Field. Like,
Doesn't really look like dirt either. If you look at the, it looks like
doesn't.
little rocks.
It
little
looks like
pebbles.
it kind of looks like the infield. Looks like bee
It looks
pollen.
more like the.
I guess what
you
we
get on
have
the
to do.
warning
Yeah,
track.
yeah.
I guess what we have to do is just go to Milwaukee and find out for ourselves if see if they're still selling it.
I mean, what would the bottom of it say? We did our part.
I don't know, man.
One of 2 no-hitters in American Family Field history.
Right.
There you go.
And they don't even get the name of the ballpark right.
Sean
now.
says, "Here's the dirt from Cole Hamels no-hitter at Wrigley in 2015."
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, also do remember from that. I don't remember a ton of the game, but I do remember that there was Jason Hayward. Ross wanted to take him out because he was trying to rest guys because they're playing a weird schedule, and he was like, not as long as he's in the game. Like, guys stayed in the game to be there for try and get Mills the no-hitter. So that,
Well, that's, and then, like, I think
stand-up move.
A lot of guys would have done that, but I know it was like Jason Hayward specifically, like, that's not surprising, just knowing the type of teammate he is to these guys and, all the hate he gets, whatever. He's a guy that, like, you'd expect him to want to be out there for something like that, regardless of the score. Be out there to give his best to make sure Alec Mills gets his no-hitter. Like, that's the type of teammate that Jason Hayward is.
And then he went and took pepper jars and scooped up all the dirt,
And gave
one for each teammate.
And then sold the rest to American Family
Sold
Field.
the rest to the Brewers. I mean, there's no way. Yeah, as Michael says, they do give away free tickets at gas stations in Wisconsin. That is factual.
At Subways, right?
At Subways, yeah.
I loved being like a student in college in Milwaukee because I would just go to games for $1, $2 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Be like Clayton Kershaw pitching randomly against some Brewers, and they weren't very good those first couple of years. My junior and senior year, they were great when they got Yelich. But yeah, it was great. You could walk into that park for free sometimes. It was just, dirt cheap.
Not bad.
Dirt cheap. No,
No pun
Dave is saying, by the way, if the Cubs win a World Series at home, Ricketts will sell the Ivy. I've said all along.
Didn't they sell the Ivy anyway in 16?
No. Like, the fact that they don't sell the Ivy in, like, every Menards or whatever store they want to pick is stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe they haven't figured that out. I mean,
Like just seeds to grow ivy, right?
I had it growing at my house, and that was the stuff it was ripped out by my neighbor because they thought it was a weed, and I'll never forgive the guy. I won't mention his name. But wow, had it growing
Steve
on
over here.
I was hand watering.
Forget.
I was hand
Never
watering
forgive.
actual Wrigley Field ivy on a brick wall in our house, and a neighbor came by and was like, plucked it out of our thing.
Really?
We got back from vacation. I was like,
It
was in the trash, all wilted. I tried to like revive it by like sticking it back in
you're
the
giving
ground
it
and
CPR?
Yeah, like basically like ivy CPR. But I had spent like 3.5 months trying to grow this ivy, and it was finally like had grown and attached to the wall, and it was like a couple feet high. It was like we had a duplex down, so it had like a dropped window.
Yeah.
So we would have had just Wrigley ivy growing.
What'd you do to your neighbor? Like, what'd you say?
I just said, did you pull out 4 green bushes out of our window well? He's like, yeah, I thought it was a maple tree growing in there. I thought I'd get it out of there for you. I'm like, I've been watering it every day for the last 4 months. It's ivy from Wrigley Field. He's like, I'll go buy you more. I'm like, dude, you can't go buy it.
Can't go buy a Wrigley.
Somebody gave me
Wrigley
the
ivy.
seeds that like the seeds fall down in the warning track, and that's how it regrows.
Yeah.
And so I had the seeds, and I grew it, and then planted it. And then and that first thing I thought was like, wow, they could make a killing selling this. All the landscape people would be like, yeah, I want some Wrigley Field ivy on the side of the house.
Yeah.
They would sell the hell out of it.
They would.
That's brutal,
yeah.
man. That's
That
brutal.
could
Yeah, that was
that's more
so
money
happened.
that could go to the payroll.
First
so
the-
I'm
It's
down
one of
for
the
it.
worst. It's the most wronged I've ever been almost in my life.
first
It's on the top 5 I was wronged list.
First the Bears-Packers Halloween game. Now
Yeah.
this. Like,
Steve has this guy on his list.
I had ivy growing at my house from Wrigley Field, and the neighbor decided for the one time in his life he was going to jump down the camera well and rip
I
it
have
out.
Mike Martz at the top of my list.
Oh,
and
what a loser that
and
guy is.
Steve has this guy.
Mike Martz, what has he ever won?
Guy is such a hater. I can't stand Mike Martz.
Yeah.
He's not even watching the games.
Oh, goodness.
Let's be honest. Also on this day, I saw Corey posted 2019 Nico Horner's first career home run.
Ooh.
John Lester the win. Grand Slam, Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
And now, the Sampson game.
Well, speaking of which,
I don't like to think about September games from 2019 because the ending of that year just was brutal. So
speaking of which, though, you mentioned Nico. Got the Nico bobblehead.
Oh,
yeah.
nice
From
job.
Wrigley Field.
Nice job.
Ryan picked it up.
What would Brendan Miller give for that?
I was gonna say, I hope Brendan's watching because
No, he's not watching.
If he's watching, this may be what is gives him the incentive to actually, come to our office and hang out with us.
Maybe
I
we
hope he's
get it.
watching.
You think he would show up? I don't know if Brendan's actually a Bears fan. Will he show up for one of our tailgates?
Well, he's got to.
He would be a surprise.
Well, maybe Green Ridge Farms next time they come back, start grilling up meats. Yeah, get Miller back. The tailgate deal is going to be sick. I'm going to talk about that later, but it is coming up. It's the 25th. It's the game against the Texans and Lovie Smith. It's going to be our first one ever. It's the corner of Michigan and Roosevelt. $34. Get your tickets. Get your tickets now. $34. It includes your booze, your beer, a food truck from the local area that's going to come, and it also includes a DJ is going to be there, and it's like 8 a.m. till noon. Tailgate with the CHGO crew. It's just our tailgate.
Yeah.
And you're like a 15-minute walk from Soldier Field or a 10-minute walk to a bunch of bars in the area.
Well, me and Cody went to the tailgate at the Sox game a couple months ago, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we got to
Bears tailgate.
Yeah, I was just saying it's gonna be a little bit bigger.
One of the cool things about the Bears season is that Cubs and Sox fans finally can come together and not hate each other.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not someone who hates the Sox, but I have a new reason to hate the Sox that I can't say on this podcast. But all I'm saying is that I'm not. For most of my life, I haven't been a Sox hater until last night when I was on Twitter.com. But anyway, the Bears bring Cubs and Sox fans together.
That is true.
And when you go to the tailgate,
Bears and Bulls.
Yeah, you get to
Blackhawks.
Well, there's no tailgates at
right. Agreed.
Bulls and Blackhawks, but on here though for the Bears. It brings everyone together. That's honestly, that's probably why the Bears are this city's number one team, no matter how bad they are.
That's right. Everybody comes together. Now, you can buy tickets to this. Go to allchgo.com, click on the tailgate banner. It'll have the details there. It's also in the show description. But, once it runs out, it runs out.
Yeah.
But $34 for food, booze, and a tailgate party and a DJ? And I heard what the food truck idea is. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm all. I like my food.
Oh yeah, you're the foodie.
I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm hoping it's the one that they said it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
No fooling around.
And 2 days before my birthday, so
Ryan's going to be vibing.
You want to bring me a couple presents? I won't say no.
So bring him a bottle.
Bring in Nico bobblehead. Nick Madrigal bobblehead. You already got it.
I do have the Nick Madrigal bobblehead. I accept hard seltzers.
He was drinking a Truly earlier.
I was.
I'm working security for that the first couple hours. Security, quote unquote. No messing around.
All right.
I'll throw you out.
You're in charge of security?
No,
I was gonna say
I'm helping set up. What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing.
He's like, what are you gonna do about it? That's what Luke said.
Tossing Ryan out.
There you go.
By the way, Foco. Speaking of getting ready for tailgate season, Chicago, you ready to have the best coverage for your favorite teams. Now get fitted out in the best sports gear around. Foco's got you covered from Soldier Field to the French Room, north side, south side, hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. Get decked out like tomorrow with apparel from the leader in sports, merch, and collectibles. It is Foco. Looking for that perfect gift for the football fan in your life? Foco's got you covered. Hoodies to fight that Lake Michigan breeze. Oh, but it could be beautiful. September 25th at that tailgate. You might need just a short sleeve shirt. Check out Foco.com. Click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO for 10% off. I love hoodie weather in the fall. Right? Like 60 degrees, a sunny day at a tailgate. Perfect. And you know what else you need at a tailgate, Cody?
What's that, Luke?
Bags or cornhole, however you want to say it.
Bags.
It's bags. We live in the Midwest. It's bags.
Got bags.
I
It's
will.
like up here is bags. Like you go down to like St. Louis and they say cornhole, and I'm
Do
like,
they?
yeah.
Well, okay. So as someone who grew up downstate and like closer to St. Louis than here,
Either way is fine.
I grew up calling it bags.
Well, I'm saying like you're probably not more southern enough.
Maybe.
But like
cornhole,
Missouri calls it that.
they just had that cornhole tournament that Jay Cutler came up for. That was cornhole.
They called it cornhole. It's like the professional name. In the Midwest, we
is.
call it bags. I don't care
It's
what anyone
bags.
says.
It's bags.
Anyway, Chi-Town Custom Cornhole, the #1 cornhole provider for Chicagoland and Illinois since 2007. And I honestly, shout out to them because they've been tweeting at me for years. And that's legit. And I really like these guys.
And now that they know you had the big winner on PointsBet.
Yeah, exactly. Our signature box style design can be digitally printed, covered in vinyl, and painted. Our cornhole boards come with built-in drink holders, recessed in on the back, LEDs that light up the hole, and exterior handles for easy carrying and handcrafted scorekeepers. Wow, I got through that. First time reading this ad. I should have read it before we did the show, guys. Veteran owned and operated. We can ship anywhere and offer local pickups, specializing in corporate designs for your company's next marketing or social event, wedding gifts, and gifts for all occasions, especially for tailgaters like us and backyard barbecues.
Or like right here. We can do it right here on the patio.
Well, we can do it right here in the
too.
office on either side. We could have a tournament going.
I'm surprised we haven't even started. We haven't already started doing that.
Well, I see them. They're actually, the one is set up
Lined
right
up,
over to my right over here. I'd
Mm-hmm.
go get it. But
So I'll say it's bags up here, but Chi-Town Cornhole does great work. They can call it cornhole.
yes.
Only one that
Well,
we're
And they
allowing.
design really great.
And
backsets.
calling your company Chi-Town Bags, not as good as Chi-Town Cornhole.
That's fair. But
Fair.
Like,
Like, I'm
Well,
just saying.
we're gonna
it's a
allow
pretty
it.
obvious choice for them.
we're gonna allow it because they do great work, but that's also true.
Yeah. Shout out to them. Seriously, they I've been following those guys for a couple years on Twitter, and they always tweet me in their Illini bag, like custom bag sets.
Yeah,
with
the
Illini
CHGO
logo.
ones they made us are cool. And really, the LED light on the inside of the circle is brilliant. Because it starts getting dark out, or you're playing it at night, and it's like, you don't want to have like every light in the backyard turned on.
Right. Yeah.
It's a brilliant
Absolutely.
idea.
All I'm saying is, if you're doing a Who You Got tournament for bags, I hope I'm the Who You Got. I'm pretty damn good at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They build them different at Marquette, apparently.
I went undefeated one summer in bags.
Really?
21-0. Kept my record.
Okay. Respect.
That Kevin, he's a real bag.
I went
winner.
to Eastern Illinois University where they don't really care about the grades, so you take that with what you will.
I heard that when they said, we've hired this guy named Kevin. He's a real bag winner.
Well, there's a couple things in the chat. People are asking about Nico,
Okay.
asking about Wilson. I know
Wilson, I'm starting to wonder if he's ever going to play in a Cubs uniform again.
Well, he's on the IL. Do you know when he can be activated, Ryan? It's because of that ankle injury that happened.
Yeah, they had the MRI.
I believe what was the day that I think it's if it's not like today, it's in the next couple of days. He's been out for a little while.
Yeah.
It's only 10 days for hitters as opposed to 15 for pitchers. Let me see what day it would have been. So it was retro to September 3rd. So today's like the day that he could have been activated from that. It was something he was kind of dealing with off and on since like Field of Dreams,
Yeah.
when he rolled his ankle there. So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't want it
Like,
to end that way. That'd be lame.
Every update that we've gotten,
That would be right.
just every update we got. I mean, he had the MRI over the week, this last homestand, which didn't have any surprises. What are you snoring about over there, Kevin?
Zoph on Anonymous says, on Who You Got, Luke sounds like such a bad loser. It makes me wonder if he's divorced. No, happily married, and I won. What are you talking? How am I a sore loser?
Oh my God, this might be the greatest moment in this podcast history, and that
also-
includes before like Corey and Brennan let us come on here. Like
And
that's the greatest comment I've ever read.
Zoph Anonymous, who does he think is Luke? Because I got a shirt that says my name is Steve. How confused is this person?
Who is Zoph? It's the first comment I've seen from this guy.
Right?
I was saying, I don't remember him
From
ever
the
being
top
in one.
rope, first comment he's ever left.
Oh,
He's like,
man.
But who does he think? Who is Luke?
Wow.
Because I won, and I'm wearing a shirt named Steve.
He still remembers when you threw a fit last week, probably.
That's not what he said. He called me a sore loser right here.
Luke won tonight. He's the one wearing the Steve shirt. But
Wow.
it makes me wonder if he's divorced.
Zoph Anonymous out for blood.
Just
Literally.
like I said, from the top rope, dude.
Like RKO
Robbie,
out
a
of
random,
nowhere.
RKO out
a
of
random
nowhere.
lurker tossed a dagger.
He gave him the old swanton bomb, like Jeff Hardy style, man. Like,
Man.
shit. The old twisted death.
He must not have liked me saying that stuff about Kevin being a great at bags.
Maybe it was Kevin.
Probably was Kevin. He's just making that thing up over there. He's like, that's it. I'm going to go with Zoph Anonymous.
So anonymous.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, Joel wants you to prove that you're married, or it's confirmed you're divorced.
Proof that you're married. It's great.
He's got to bring the wife in.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming in here. I mean, I got a wedding ring.
There you go. I guess that proves it, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I mean, I don't have one on, so I must not be
Yeah, I
married.
don't either. I lived with the same girl for 4 years, but no ring. That's on me.
Luke, Steve was complaining last week for something I can't remember. Carlos said.
That's every week, Carlos. That's every week.
Complaining. Yeah, that's literally every day.
Like today's like the
Sean,
one day in a while. That
Any
he
chance
hasn't.
you're married to a Lou Malnati's executive? No, that is Cap.
There's a lot of gift
And
cards.
according to Cap,
According
Trey
to
Turner and Carlos Rodon are interested in signing with the Cubs this offseason. Or whoever gives them the most money.
Yeah.
So, yes, they are interested.
Yeah,
It's like, what's the source, Dave?
Yeah, well, of course they're not going to say they're not.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Listen, we've gone back and forth about Rodon and DeGrom and everything in this show. Like, I'll take either one of them, man. You force me to choose one. I'll take DeGrom because he's just proven to be more dominant over the longer stretch of time, and he's had some injury problems. But other than that, like, he's the one I'd want. You have to pay him more, but whatever. I want the best. That's what I want. This fan base deserves the best. We deserve to have a winning product on the goddamn baseball field. And, yeah, I expect, like, we expect to be good. So give me the one who's going to go out there and give me a quality start every single night that he's out there.
And Aaron Judge.
Yes.
And
please.
Shohei Ohtani.
And Shohei Ohtani. Who Aaron Judge, who hit 2 more
I
homers.
was gonna say,
tonight.
do you want to Aaron Judge?
57. 57. How high will he go?
So he has 20 games to hit 5 more home runs and set the American League record. I would be surprised if he doesn't do that. Will he hit 74? You said maybe.
I mean, it's not impossible.
It's not a non-zero. It's a non-zero chance. I just don't see it. That's a lot of home runs to hit. In
To me,
20 games.
he would have had a chance at 74 if he had 60 going into September, in my opinion.
It's just so many home runs, man.
But like,
Yes,
he doesn't
he
have
would,
60,
right.
and we're almost.
I think he can get to the
It's very
mid-60s.
unlikely we get that far. Will he get the American League record? Sure seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
In a season where nobody's hitting home runs.
Yeah.
Where's Schwarber at now?
38.
And he's still second in the majors?
I don't know.
57. He was like 20 behind him before.
Someone says in the chat that he's only 3 off Bonds' pace.
37 for Schwarbs.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Who's in the
Still
chat?
20 back?
I can't see because
He's how many off Bonds pace?
It's in the chat. It says 3. Sean says it. 17 in 20 games. No shot, unfortunately. He is only 3 off Bonds' pace, though. So if he had 3 more homers, he would be on pace, the same pace as Barry Bonds. As of this many games, then, I guess. According to Sean.
I mean, there's a shot, but there's also a shot the Cubs make the playoffs, not mathematically eliminated yet.
Fair.
That's facts.
If they do, I'm going to get a tattoo on my bicep that says 2022 Division Champs.
You should. I mean, if the listen, I think we'll all get one if they do that. Come on. Even I might get that tattoo.
2022 division champs. I did not get hurt this time.
There you go.
I was
Yes.
not hurt again.
No, Judge updated total. Judge is 57. Schwarber is still second with 37.
That's unbelievable.
20
Be 20 ahead of the
20
next
ahead.
guy.
Riley, 30. Austin Riley, 36. Goldschmidt, 35. Trout, 35. Trout also, by the way, did not hit
No.
a homer.
It would have been
Streak
8
around.
straight games?
Yeah.
Would have been 8. Would have
Stopped at
tied the
7.
major league record.
Wow.
Did not do it. But apparently he
Guy's
says
the
he's going to
goat,
start a
man.
new streak.
And by the way,
If we can't have Ohtani, can we trade for Trout instead? He's a little bit older.
yes.
He's a little bit older. Maybe he won't cost as much. I'd take Mike Trout. That guy deserves to be on a winner, man.
Yeah, I'd take Mike Trout.
He's never won anything. What are you going to get
Well,
for
listen,
him?
man.
What if
Like
you have to give up?
That was a joke.
But what if you have to give up like
last year? He
Sampson?
was hurt, and then this year he's been hurt too, and he's older.
After he signed a
like
huge contract.
what? He's like 29 or 30 now. Like I don't know. He probably is going to cost the same, but he is on a gigantic contract.
Yeah, he's locked up through 2030, making $35 million
Yeah.
each of the next 9 years.
Fine.
Yeah,
One,
he's
two.
30 this year, so like, not that matters too much.
Whatever.
but still, I would
Going to go down as one of the greatest players of all time.
I would love to have Mike Trout.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
There's a lot of players who would be very good with the
put him in
Cubs.
center.
Here's the thing I wish for Mike Trout. I just want him, and I don't think it's something he necessarily wants. I want him out of there, and I want him in a big market so more people can see how great he is before he really starts to decline.
Yeah,
Like, right? Like, he deserves to play at Wrigley Field or somewhere like that in that spotlight. I don't want it to be the Yankees or Red Sox or Dodgers, but, like, he deserves a big market team that's really going to get him some. I don't think he cares about it, but baseball fans deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a take that all of us can agree with, except for I guess Angels fans.
So,
Sean says, sat right by Mike Trout's parents at a Cubs-Angels game in 2016. His mom was the rowdiest person in the crowd. Bring him here.
Damn. All right.
love a rowdy.
So she's a vibe.
Yeah.
The Trout family has vibes. They're Eagles fans, but, I can get past that.
Was it in the bleachers or was it in just the regular seats?
Probably in the regular seats.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, that's where like all the family members sit. Except for, what's that guy? The guy for the Pirates. It's from Chicago that came here this year. His family was sitting in the left field bleachers.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Bleacher Jeff?
Sawinski or whatever.
Sawinski, yeah. Not
Bleacher Jeff.
Bleacher
Nah, he's
Jeff.
always in the bleachers.
Oh, man.
All right, so we'll have the Cubs-related podcast with Brendan and Corey tomorrow.
So all you nerds out there, you're gonna get your nerd session.
They'll probably have a whole section on the anniversary of Nico's first career home run being within.
Yes.
This is the week it happened.
Absolutely.
Brendan will somehow introduce graphs into an audio podcast.
A heat
it will
map.
happen.
A heat map.
Into an audio podcast. No visuals. He's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's tomorrow.
Yeah. And then Thursday, we will have an off-day podcast. And then Friday, right back at it again.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, man.
Get to it.
I'll be back at Wrigley on Friday.
We need
Is it Rockies?
One
Yeah, Rockies.
weekend series for the Rockies.
we need to find out if KB is gonna come or not. I need to know.
Yeah, we do need to know.
Yeah, well,
Would love to know.
let me text
Text
our
your
DMVR
DM.
Rockies people.
Text Susie Hunter.
Or Patrick Lyons.
Whoever. Let's figure it out. The people want to know if KB is coming or not.
Jack, it is not a post-game show tomorrow. It's an end-of-series podcast with the Cubs-related.
Yeah. They haven't done
Brendan
those
and Corey.
live in a while, but
It comes out pretty soon after
it does
the post-game.
it does come up pretty fast. So
It's always good though.
Big, but this will always be the Sampson game.
the Sampson
Cubs
game.
history.
Yeah.
Sampson
What was your
game.
favorite part of the Adrian Sampson era? This game. That's what we'll say.
Pretty good.
Probably in like January or something.
Pretty good game to hang your hat on.
Absolutely. Just like the Luke Farrell era, whenever he outdueled someone for the Cardinals.
Wainwright. Was it Wainwright?
Was it Wainwright? I don't know.
I think it was Wainwright.
It was the last Cubs Cardinals series this year at Wrigley Field,
I think it was Wainwright.
and Luke Farrell started the game, went 4 innings, no earned.
That's who it was. I was trying to think of it earlier.
I was like, that's far and away my favorite part of the Luke Farrell era.
Ravi says in 10 years, he will still remember this game and where he was tonight.
Well, considering what we know about Ravi, that's a little surprising.
That is surprising, yeah. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs postgame show podcast presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up. Take care. Fly the W. Where did Zoph Anonymous go?
He just left.
Jeez.
Just left.
Come back.
Just ghosted us all.
Ghosted us.
See ya.